Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GSI's short tutorial on creating and generating item demand plans in NetSuite. So I'm going to start by mentioning that we want to first turn on under Enable Features demand planning by location if we choose to do demand planning by location. Then we want to set up our item demand planning factors in each location. So we'll pull up a quick item here in our recent records and show you the difference by location and overall. If you do not turn on demand planning by location, then you're going to navigate down to this second subsection in Inventory Management under the Purchasing and Inventory tab on your item record. You'll want to fill out things like the replenishment methods, your safety stock and preferred stock levels, as well as lead times. As we're continuing to scroll down here, we're going to notice that we do have enabled in this demo environment our demand planning by location. So we're going to see that we have things like preferred stock levels and lead times here that we can assign per location. If we scroll down even further, we're going to see the difference between the preferred stock levels at our US East DC and our US West DC. So now that we've shown you the quick setup on the item records you're going to need to use demand planning, let's also go in and set up our demand plan. So we're going to go to Transactions, Demand Planning, Calculate Item Demand Plan. Now we could have gone and set up a manual one where we literally typed in what we believe our demand plan needs to be, but we're going to use the system here to generate one for us based on that information, the historical background, so on and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and click on our subsidiary and select US 1. We're going to select our location as US East DC. Our projection method, we have 4 options here. So let's talk about the linear regression first. This is based on the historical duration parameter. This is found over to the right-hand side here. And the system is going to group the data points into weekly and monthly buckets, and then a linear line will be created based on that trend. So the moving average, this is again based on that historical duration parameter we set to the right, and takes an average of demand in that historical time frame. The average is then used for all the periods in the projection, and it is a smoothing function to remove any demand variations within the system. We have our sales forecast, which can be based on outstanding opportunities, sales orders, or estimates. And then last, we have our seasonal average. So the system calculates a weighted index for each of the 12 months in the last year. That annual projection for the next 12 months is then determined by multiplying the historical annual total in the last 12 months with the expected demand change field on the item record. Each of the projected months is then calculated by using an annual projection with the weighted index. So again, you'll notice that that formula is pointing back to the item record, and it is important to make sure all of the fields that have anything to do with demand planning are set up to use your projection methods accurately. We're going to go ahead and select, let's do a linear regression here, and our project interval for weekly. In our project projection duration, let's tell it we want it to project 24 weeks out, and let's look back 24 weeks into our historical analysis. Now we're going to scroll down, and I'm going to go ahead and select this office desk as what I want to run an updated item demand plan for, and I'm going to click Submit. Now what it's telling me is the last stored demand plan that I wrote or that I ran is going to be overwritten, and I'm going to tell it it's okay. Let's overwrite those quantities. It's going to bring me back to what looks like a similar screen, but this in NetSuite is actually all of the demand plans that you have run recently. You'll see over to your right-hand side your projection method that they were run in, as well as the last plan when it was modified. So I'm going to scroll down and find that office desk. And we're going to see here that we just ran this in linear regression for the US East today. So I'm going to click on View on this one. And the first thing we're going to notice here is up at the top, we've got all of those stats that we determined. We also happen to have quantities on certain weeks that it's telling us we're going to need that at that time. There's always a component of demand planning that really does come from just knowing your products and your business. So this is why NetSuite does easily allow you to click on Edit on your demand plan and simply override if you need to. Maybe you're accounting for a promotion that you don't hold within the system, or you just know that somebody's going to be purchasing something from you in a higher quantity that week. So that insight that the system doesn't necessarily have, maybe you're not putting it into the system, but you know it, can be easily figured in by just overriding your demand plan. And all you're going to do is click on Save. And join us next time as we go into how to take this demand plan and generate our item supply plans as well as order items for it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.